Duke of Albany was a peerage title that has occasionally been bestowed on the younger sons in the Scottish and later the British royal family, particularly in the houses of Stuart and Windsor. History. The Dukedom of Albany was first granted in 1398 by King Robert III of Scotland on his brother Robert Stuart, the title being in the peerage of Scotland. Albany was a broad territorial term representing the parts of Scotland north of the River Forth, roughly the former kingdom of the Picts. The title was the first dukedom created in Scotland. It passed to Robert's son Murdoch Stuart, and was forfeited in 1425 due to the attainder of Murdoch. The title was again created in 1458 for Alexander Stuart, but was forfeit in 1483. His son John Stuart was restored to the second creation in 1515 but died without heirs in 1536. The title was created again in 1541 for Robert, second son of James V of Scotland, who died at less than a month old. The fourth creation, along with the earldom of Ross and lordship Albany, was for Mary, Queen of Scots, King Consort Lord Darnley, whose son, later James VI of Scotland, I of England and Ireland, inherited the titles on his death. The creation merged with the Scottish crown upon James's ascension. The title, along with the title of Duke of York, with which it has since been traditionally coupled, was created for a fifth time in 1604 for Charles, son of James VI and I. Upon Charles's ascent to the throne in 1625, the title of Duke of Albany emerged once again in the crowns. The title was next granted in 1660 to Charles I's son, James, by Charles II. When James succeeded his elder brother to the throne in 1685, the titles again merged into the crown. The cities of New York and Albany, New York, were thus both named after James, as he was the Duke of York and of Albany. The pretender, Charles Edward Stuart, gave the title Duchesses of Albany to his illegitimate daughter Charlotte. She died in 1789. The title, Duke of York and Albany, was granted 3 times by the Hanoverian kings. The title of Albany alone was granted for the 5th time, this time in the peerage of the United Kingdom, in 1881 to Prince Leopold, the 4th son of Queen Victoria. Prince Leopold's son, Prince Charles Edward, was deprived of the peerage in 1919 for bearing arms against the United Kingdom in World War I. Under the Titles Deprivation Act 1917, the legitimate lineal male heir of the first Duke of Albany was allowed to petition the British Crown for the restoration of the peerages, because subsequent descendants have married in contravention of the Royal Marriages Act 1772. There are now no people alive who can make such a petition. The last person eligible to do so was Friedrich Josias, Prince of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha, who died in 1998. Dukes of Albany. First creation. Other titles: Earl of Fife, Earl of Buchan, Earl of Athol, Robert Stuart, 1st Duke of Albany, 3rd son of Robert II. Other titles: Earl of Menteith, Earl of Fife, Earl of Buchan, Murdoch Stuart, 2nd Duke of Albany. Eldest son of the 1st Duke, was attainted and his honours forfeit in 1425. Dukes of Albany. 2nd creation. Other titles: Earl of March, Earl of Mar and Earl of Geary. Alexander Stuart, 1st Duke of Albany, 2nd son of James II, forfeited his honours in 1479, was restored in 1482, then forfeited them again in 1483. Other titles: Earl of March, John Stuart, 2nd Duke of Albany, only legitimate son of the 1st Duke, was restored to his father's dukedom and earldom of March in 1515. The honours became extinct upon his death without issue. Dukes of Albany. 3rd creation. Arthur Stuart, Duke of Albany, second son of James V, died 8 days after his baptism. Dukes of Albany, fourth creation. Other titles: Earl of Ross and Lord Ardbennock. Henry Stuart, 1st Duke of Albany, was king consort to Mary, Queen of Scots. James Stuart, Duke of Rothesay, only child of the first Duke, became king in 1567. Dukes of Albany, 5th creation. Other titles: Prince of Wales and Earl of Chester, Duke of Cornwall, Duke of Rothesay, etc. Duke of York, Marquess of Ormond, Earl of Carey, Earl of Ross, Baron Renfrew, Lord Ardbennock, Lord of the Isles, Prince and Great Steward of Scotland. Prince Charles, Duke of Albany, second son of James VI the Knight, became king in 1625. Dukes of Albany, 6th creation. Other titles: Duke of York, Earl of Ulster. Prince James, Duke of Albany, second son of Charles I, became king in 1685. Dukes of York and Albany. Dukes of Albany, Jacobite peerage. Charlotte Stuart, Duchesses of Albany. Charlotte was Charles Edward Stuart's illegitimate daughter by his mistress Clementina Walkinshaw and his only child to survive infancy. She was also created a Lady of the Order of the Thistle by her father on the 30th of November 1784. Dukes of Albany, 7th creation. Other titles: Earl of Clarence and Baron Arklow. The Prince Leopold, Duke of Albany, fourth son of Queen Victoria. Charles Edward, Duke of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha, second Duke of Albany, posthumous only son of the first Duke, had his British honours suspended in 1919 for taking arms against the realm. Family tree. Dukes of Albany in fiction. William Shakespeare's King Lear includes as a major character the Duke of Albany, who is husband to Lear's daughter, Goneril. In the movie Kate and Amp, Leopold is the Duke of Albany. He is not, however, meant to be the same person as the historic Prince Leopold, Duke of Albany, who would have held the title at the time, as the fictitious character is not a member of the royal family.